Hello, my beautiful Gemini. This is V with PharaohsTarot, and I'm here with your weekly elemental air game reading, okay? Happy Pride to everybody. I hope y'all having fun and enjoy yourself and be safe this month, all right? Your cards are pulled before we get started. We will never reach out to you for personal readings or donations. If you would like to book a personal reading or a donation, all the information is in the description box below. Okay, let's tap into your reading. We have the Knight of Swords with the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you're holding on to some sort of communication or some sort of truth. Something needs to be said with, like, quickly. Or maybe you're afraid of saying something in a hurry and, you know, misspeaking or saying the wrong thing. But I feel like at this point, something needs to be said quickly that you haven't been saying. And we have the Star with the High Priestess. Yeah, it's like you have to trust your intuition on this one. Trust that you're coming from a healed place. Trust that you're coming from your authentic self with this Aquarius energy. You may think very differently, think outside the box, or maybe what the truth or the message that you have to deliver is something that's a bit unorthodox, and you're not really trusting in your uniqueness, but you know it needs to be said here. Yeah, it's time for you to stand in your power. The Emperor with the Three of Cups. Yeah, celebrate the fact that you've overcome so many obstacles. Celebrate your journey. Celebrate where you're from, and then maybe you will value yourself, value the input that you bring, because the Emperor is no joke. This is Aries energy. This is the balance of your masculine and your feminine. This is the result of hard work, the culmination of all the Kings, Swords, Wands, Cups, Pentacles. So you really maybe amass a great wealth, be it like I feel like it's balanced, but I'm hearing like either pentacles or knowledge, like something you've done. This Emperor has really leveled up, and now I see that you're moving towards like really strengthening the King of Swords part. Okay, and the Eight of Swords is also highlighting the fact that you're putting yourself sort of in a mental prison about what you need to say. The King of Swords is very decisive, but with this Eight of Swords, it's telling me that you're feeling conflicted, and that's kind of a dangerous place for a King of Swords to be in. When you're in this Emperor energy, you have to make a decision. There's people that are counting on you, be it your family, if you have children, be it the people at your job who are under you. They need you to, either like speak up and tell them. Maybe some of y'all trying to be cool and be friends with people at the job. And I understand that camaraderie and all of that, job morale is important. But at the end of the day, you are a leader. You are a boss. So if you can't have fun and respect, then the respect comes first in the business. And so you have the King of Swords here. Yeah, so it's time to be decisive and lay down the law, but you could be diplomatic, because the King of Swords is very diplomatic in their approach. They're not very in their high vibration. They're not egotistical. They are matter of fact and maybe even straight to the point almost. Because in the past you've dealt with a lot of manipulation, maybe starting from childhood. Maybe people spoke to you in ways that were not kind, and you've learned to overcome that, but then there's still this level of hesitation when you want to say what you need to say, because you don't want to hurt any feelings the way that yours were hurt, or you don't want to be manipulative or deceptive, and you won't be as long as you are direct and honest about how you feel, or whatever the situation is. Maybe it's a romantic situation and you just need to tell your partner a very challenging truth, something very hard to tell them. But here with the Two of Wands and the Moon card, yeah, you're unsure about not only which way to go, but it's something in the past you're trying to get clear on. Maybe something is hidden. Maybe you don't quite know why. Like I gave you you take it as it resonates, but maybe something did happen in childhood, or maybe something happened with someone in the past that was very deceptive, and that made you fearful to speak your mind, made you fearful to speak your truth. But you're moving forward, and the divine is going to help you. But the way that you come out of this moon energy is your part is the Two of Wands. You must make a decision to move forward. It's Wands energy. So you can contemplate for a bit, but you have to move. That's fire. And so the divine is advising you to go ahead and do this before the Tower hits. Okay, so if you don't make a decision on your own, I feel like you are very high vibrational, person. And so if you don't move on your own, the divine is going to bring in the Tower. So all of the elements that we're building on that rocky foundation are all going to come together, and you will be forced to make a decision. And so before that hits, hopefully, I feel like it hasn't yet. And so you can make a decision now. Now, that's not saying there won't be conflict, but you at least won't get this Tower energy. Now the Tower can be, in this reading, the Tower is something that you're going to grow from, but it's not very pleasant, okay? Because you have the Two of Swords with the Fool and the Five of Swords. Yeah, you're fearful of taking that next step. You're fearful of being a beginner again. You're fearful of maybe losing someone by telling them your truth. You're fearful of maybe, you know, losing friends or co-workers or whatever. You feel like maybe they'll be talking behind your back at work, like, oh, this person, now they got a promotion, da, da, da. Hey, let them talk. You have to do your job, all right? And so if this is like a romantic situation, maybe you're afraid that you'll deliver your truth and they'll still go out and do what they want to do anyway, something like that. You have to be more confident with yourself, Gemini. I feel like that's, I'm feeling solar plexus energy. I don't really see any other fire. Yeah, very little fire here. So yeah, maybe some breath work will help like recharge and replenish your energy. So we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Ten of Cups. Yeah, you feel like you're frustrated with a balanced situation, like a love situation or something that was supposed to bring peace and togetherness and wish fulfillment for a group of people or two people. You're feeling very frustrated. You're trying to weigh out the pros and cons of the situation and see if it's still worth it. You have the Eight of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're afraid that this won't work out and you won't get wish fulfillment. Pardon me. You're afraid. My nose itches when I do readings, y'all. You're afraid that it won't work out or that you won't get wish fulfillment, but it's going to work. You're very, very protected, and I'm hearing like you're very talented. You're really good with, some of y'all are really good with money, like really good with finances, so you'll be good either way. I feel like you're just worried that maybe there won't be equal give and take in your life. Maybe you've been trying for a long time to find resolution with this, but the divine is saying to be patient. The outcome will happen, but they're going to bring you through a patient, temperate energy with Sagittarius. So ironically, you do get that fire energy, but in order for you to be able to cultivate it, you have to take your time because fire is a very volatile element. You have the Eight of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so you will be getting that. If it's romance, love offer, platonic, you will be getting that new friend group. If it's a job, you will be coming and you will be hearing information potentially about jobs that you are really interested in terms of like you love to do the work. And so yeah, it's time to make a decision, y'all. So you have on the Shaman Oracle deck, you have the Moon. And on the bottom, you have the drum. And while I was shuffling, I saw Pachma in the middle. Okay, so the Moon lets me know that it's time for you to kind of pull back a little bit. You got the Moon card in both decks, right? So when things are unclear, it's time for you to slow down just a bit. You don't have to completely stop, right? But you need to slow down and pull back into yourself. Maybe increase your meditation and prayer time and your reflection time, because there's something that you're missing. And like the Moon, it spends equal time in the day as it does in the night, if that makes sense. It spends equal time being seen as it does not being seen. So maybe you've been, just moving and shaking and doing your thing and not really catering to yourself. That's why Pachma, I saw Pachma was because Pachma means it's time for you to take care of yourself, eat the right things, feed yourself good, listen to high vibrational things. Maybe you've been working so much, like barely eating, like maybe grabbing like snacks and having like a little snack for dinner. You're not really replenishing your body. And so 848, okay, that's just like a synchronicity. That's an interesting number. Yeah, so 8 is like working, right? That's the number of, like, I'm getting like the 8 of Pentacles in here, and then 4. So you're gonna have to pull back a little bit, and then the 8 comes back, so you'll be able to work again. But you got to pull back a little bit because there's something unique that you bring to the world in general, but to this particular situation, you have your own unique voice, and the divine wants you to find that voice and deliver it. Okay, 919 on the clock. All right, yeah, that's the ending and conclusion, right? So it's time for you to sort of move. So that's 9 and a 10. So you go from an ending and then you have this rebirth. All right. But first you have to wrap up a cycle. Yeah. So you can fully be this emperor. So you can fully stand in your wish fulfillment. And so you can get these blessings. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, like, share, subscribe. We would love to have you as part of this community. We go live on TikTok, so follow us over there. We'd love for you to join that community as well. That's Pharaoh's Tarot. If you want to book a personal reading to get more information on your situation, www.PharaohsTarot.com. Thank you, Gemini. Y'all have a good evening, good day, good night, all of that. Namaste.